धारे जय यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंद यमुना तीर बनचारी यमुना जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण जय प्रभुपद श्रीला प्रभुपद श्रीला प्रभुपद प्रभु जय ओम विष्णुपाद प्रमहंस परिव्राज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर सहरिभाइंगे शिल अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद के इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद के जय ओम विष्णुपाद प्रमहंस परिव्राज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर सहरिभाइंगे शिल भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद के अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद के नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर के प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद के श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंडगिरी गोवर्धन के श्री वृंदावन धाम के श्री श्री नवदीप मायापुर धाम के श्रीमती तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की गंगा जमुना माई की गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glory, all Guru Rangrang ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjan Salakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादे पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Today we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 32, and text today we will read 5th. Please repeat after me. ये स्वधर्मान् दुह्यन्ति धीराः कामार्थहेतवे निसंगा न्यस्तकर्माणः प्रशान्तः शुद्धचेतसः। ये स्वधर्मान् दुह्यन्ति धीराः कामार्थहेतवे निसंगा न्यस्तकर्माणि निसंगा निष्तकर्माणः प्रशान्ता शुद्धचेतसः। ये स्वधर्मान् दुह्यन्ति धीराः कामार्थहेतवे निसंगा न्यस्तकर्माणः प्रशान्तः शुद्धचेतसः। ये those who swadharman their own occupational duties na do not duhyanti take advantage of dhiraha intelligent kama sense gratification artha economic development hetave for the sake of nisangah free from material attachment nyasta given up karmanah fruitive activities prasantah satisfied Shuddha Chetasah of purified consciousness. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Those who are intelligent and are purified consciousness are completely satisfied in Krishna consciousness, freed from the modes of material nature. They don't act for sense gratification. Rather, since they are situated in their own occupational duties, they act as one is expected to act. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The first class example of this type of man is Arjuna. Arjuna was a Kshatriya and his occupational duty was to fight. Generally, kings fight to extend their kingdom which they rule for sense gratification. But as far as Arjuna is concerned, he declined to fight for his own sense gratification. He said that although he could get a kingdom by fighting with his relatives, he did not want to fight with them. But when he was ordered by Krishna and convinced by the teachings of Bhagavad Gita that his duty was to satisfy Krishna, then he fought. Thus he fought not for his sense gratification, but for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Person who works at their prescribed duty not for sense gratification but gratification of Supreme Lord are called Nisanga, freed from the influence of the modes of material nature. Nyasta karmanah indicates that the result of their activities are given to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such person appears to be acting on the platform of their respective duty, but such activities are not performed for personal sense gratification. Rather, they are performed for the Supreme Person. Such devotees are called prasantah, which means completely satisfied. Shuddha Chetasah means Krishna consciousness. Their consciousness has become purified. In unpurified consciousness, one thinks of himself as the Lord universe, but in the purified consciousness one thinks himself the eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Putting oneself in that position, a position of eternal servitorship to the Supreme Lord, and working for his working for him perpetually, one actually becomes completely satisfied. As long as one works for his personal sense gratification, he will always be full of anxiety. That is the difference between ordinary consciousness and Krishna consciousness. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is the subject matter, same subject matter. Lord Kapil Dev giving instruction to his mother Devahuti. So before this part, with this verse, Lord Kapil Dev are describing the final and actual destination of the person who works for sense gratification or engage in sakam karma. In sakam karma, what is their destination? So, talk about any person working for sense gratification or sakam karma, their destination, the highest destination that they can promote themselves of the heavenly planet. And in heavenly planets, the long duration of life is there, and once they promote themselves, uplift that platform, then they can enjoy the heavenly delights. Tetam bhuktva sargalokam vishalam kshede punde marthalokam vishanti. By the merit, credit of pious activities, we may go up to heavenly planet. And Krishna talks, Tetam bhuktva sargalokam vishalam. The vast opportunity for sense gratification is there in heavenly planet, and for long time. But eventually, the credit of piety, punya, exhausted, that person is forced to again take birth on the earthly planet. And again, once he comes in this material body, punarapi jannam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathareshayana. Whole problem starts. However, a person who is in Krishna consciousness, how he works and what is his destination, final destination, that is described in this particular verse and the coming verses. So Prabhupada in the purport starts with a very important incident of Mahabharata, beginning of Mahabharata, Bharata, Kurukshetra. Arjuna was completely declined. He was not interested to fight. And he gave that very nice, Etan hantumikshami ghnotopi madhusudana api trailokya rajasya hetu kimno mahipikde. Arjuna said, Krishna, that I am not ready, I am not prepared, I am not enthusiastic to fight for kingdom of Hastinapur. If I will fight with my relative and in exchange, if I will get the kingdom of Trailok, 3 words, heavenly planet also, still I am not going to fight. And hetu, then what to speak of the earthly kingdom, and especially kingdom of throne of Hastinapur. And also he talked that first of all, I am not sure by killing my kinsman relative whether we will conquer war. Even I will get the throne. The very literary way Arjuna that throne, the throne of the Hastinapur, that will be tainted, it will be wet by the blood of my own relative. What happiness I will derive sitting on the throne, elevated place which is tainted, is completely wet with the blood of my own kinsman, my relative. I am not interested, not enthusiastic to fight anymore. So, for it's a good reason, nice reason, it appears that very elevated reason that I should not fight. So Prabhupada talks a person, Arjuna was very much interested for his own sense gratification, on his own concern, his own program. But once he was convinced by the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita and Krishna ordered him to fight. Then accepting the order of Krishna and being convinced by the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, he said, Karishye Vachram Tava. My dear Krishna, it is my supreme duty to satisfy you. If order, I should act as your will. So now I will act, I will fight according to your words. Karishye Vachram Tava. I am going to. So a sober person, nice person, gentle person, he works for the satisfaction of Krishna, not for satisfaction of his own sense gratification. Here, ये स्वधर्मान न दुह्यंती धीरा कामर्थ हेतवे. A Krishna conscious person does not work for his own sense gratification, not for artha, economic development, and not for sense gratification. He performs his prescribed duty. He engage himself in devotional service, not that for he want to derive something materially from services. Vedic literature, Duhyanti, word Duhyanti, see a cowherd boy, whole day he is tending the cow, grazing the cow in the field, in the forest. Towards the end, evening, towards the end of the day, he brings the cow and milks the cow, milking the cow. So every activity that person was, that cowherd boy was very much engaged to tending the cow, taking care of the cow. But goal is towards the end of the day, evening, I will milk the cow, get the milk, I will drink. So a materialistic person, pious person, sakam karmi, this is mentality, I am doing whole thing, but eventually towards the end of the day, in evening, I must get milk. Duhyanti. A spiritualist here, ye swadharman na duhyanti, but a spiritualist, the Krishna conscious, though he is engaged, nicely engaged in prescribed duty, he executed devotional service engaged, but he is not doing for own sensitivity. He don't want to derive something from that activity or devotional service, material thing. Ye swadharmam na duhyanti. They don't milk their activity, their whole activity, their sakam karma is described as, any karma is described as a cow. And then they don't milk the cow. Means they are not acting for any material benefit will gain. Here, then their situation, Dhira, a very prestigious the position or a status. In this word appeared right in when Krishna started the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. He talks about Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram jauvanam jara tatha dehantaro prapti dhiras tatra namuhyate. Dhir, a sober person, sober dhir, a dhira person, though there are many, once we are in this material world, there are many chances for allurement, attraction of material sense gratification, heavenly planet. But he is not attracted, he is not allured, and sometimes he is not attracted for any sense gratification. So, dhira, sober person, completely self-satisfied in devotional service, execute devotion, serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he does the bhakti for the sake of bhakti only. Dhira. Dhira means he is not disturbed by, he is not attracted by, he is not allured by, not he has not any temptation for material sense gratification. And then Nisanga, the word appears referred to as Nisanga. He is free from any attachment. He has not attachment for any person, not attachment for any place, not attachment for any certain circumstances. Nisanga. Nisanga means he completely free from any attachment. And then comes Nyasta Karmada. All things, fruit of his activity, everything he surrenders in the lotus feet of Krishna. Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karotita lipyate na sapapena padma patrai vambhasa. Nisang. Nisang means freedom from attachment. And karmadi, his karma, activity, everything is surrendered into lotus feet of Krishna. Next means he puts all the karma, whatever he performed duty, that surrendered the fruits of all karma to the Krishna. Brahmani adhaya karmadi sangam tyaktva karotya lipyate na sapapya. That person doesn't become influenced by, it doesn't become contaminated by sin in this material world. An example in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Padma Patra Iva Ambasa. Padma Patra. Padma, lotus flower, and leaf. It remains in the water, in the reservoir of water. But a certain characteristic of Padma Patra, lotus leaf is there. Though it is within the water, in the middle of water, but Padma Patra, lotus leaf doesn't get wet. Bhingta nahi. Padma Patra ivam vasat. Nisanga nyasta karmadi. One who is free from any attachment. Nisanga means he is free from bad association and free from attachment for a fruit of the action. And he has become prasanta. Prasanta means prakarsa rupena shanta. Extremely peaceful. How this peacefulness comes? Once we Krishna conscious, the peacefulness comes in our direction. Santi comes in our direction. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is one place described how, what is the root cause of our disturbance, agitation. Because we have material desire, and according to material desire we act, and the desire is the root cause. Material desire of root is the root cause of distress or asanti. Krishna bhakta nishkam atayeva shant bhukti mukti siddhi kami sakaliya shant. Sant, he is prasant, prakarsa rupena, extremely he is sant, peaceful. How? Because he is nishkam. Krishna bhakta nishkama. A Krishna bhakta, the devotee of Krishna, he doesn't cherish any material desire. He don't have material desire. That is the reason why he is son. Otherwise, bhukti mukti siddhi. Bhukti, means if one has desire for sense gratification, bhukti, bhog, of material bhog, material sense gratification, that including the heaven planet as well, and even mukti, desire for liberation, desire for freedom from repeated birth and death. The mukti, liberation, it considered to be very nice, but still, if you have this desire, material happiness, desire for liberation, or desire from siddhi, yogis, they are very much interested to get some siddhi, yoga siddhi, certain type of yoga, or anima, laghima. Perfect yogi gets a power, he can go travel in a sky without any mechanical arrangement. He can walk on the surface of water without any help of any boat. If he want to enter lower part, he can go. Nobody can check. No material law can check him. Because siddhi. So as long as we have bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami sakali asant. But because a devotee of Krishna, Krishna conscious person, his mind is completely free from any material desire, he is Santa. Here Kapil Dev said, characteristic, a sublime characteristic of a devotee, Krishna conscious person is a prasant, sant, peaceful, no agitation. Though he is living in this material birth, if a person becomes Krishna conscious, all 10 directions becomes the source of bliss, ananda. Any direction, sarv sukhmaya disha. In any direction he will go. Since he has no material desire, he can have the peace, spiritual, everlasting peace. That and then what is Shuddha Chetasa? His consciousness, his Chetana is completely purified. Since he engages himself in devotional service by chanting Hare Krishna Muhammad, then his consciousness becomes completely purified, Shuddha. So here Kapil Dev talks about different names, some characteristic, like he is a dhira, he is not disturbed with anything. And nisanga, no attachment, no attraction for any place, for any person, or no attachment for fruit of activities. And nyasta karmada, every action he does for Krishna, not for you. He surrenders the fruits of all activity in the lotus feet of Krishna. Therefore he is prasanta, prasant, and his chetana is completely purified. Once we engage ourselves in Krishna consciousness, our chetana, our consciousness is completely purified, and once our consciousness is completely purified, we can feel the presence, we can relish the transcendental attraction for Krishna, or what do you say, constitutional attraction for Krishna. Krishna Prem, Bhakti is there in everyone's heart. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya ko Bhunoy Sravan Adi Shuddha Chite Karai Uday. We are endowed with pure devotional, a spontaneous attraction for Krishna, but that is in hidden condition, that sleeping condition. When we engage ourselves in devotional service, here talking, Lord Kapil Dev talks about devotional service. Once we engage ourselves in devotional service, our consciousness is completely purified. Cheto darpanamarjanam. Once consciousness is purified, then we can experience the bliss of transcendental and spontaneous attraction for Krishna. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem, a spontaneous attraction, Prem for Krishna is there in your heart, already existing. We have not to borrow, we have not to export, already is there. Simply we are Sravanadi Shuddha Chite. When we engage ourselves in devotional service, beginning with Sravanadi Shuddha Chite Karaya Uday, it will be manifested, it will manifest in your heart. So here Srila Prabhupada nicely explained that Dhira, Nisanga, Nyasta Prasanta and Shuddha Chetasa. These are the sublime characteristic of a person who engages himself in devotional service. And unless and until towards the end, Prabhupada writes a very sublime and heavy sentence. As long as one works for his personal sense gratification, he will always be full of anxiety. Our distress is not going to away from us as long as we are interested for sense gratification. As long as one works for his personal sense gratification, he will always be full of anxiety. So, in brief, Krishna consciousness and sense gratification, self-realization and sense gratification doesn't go hand in hand. They are not friendly, they are not friendship with sense gratification and self-realization. They are in the developing opposite proportion. If one is increased, another decrease. One is increase, another decrease. So here in whole the purport Kapil Dev want to say that if someone is really interested to make substantial progress in Krishna consciousness, that person should try his level best to refrain from the desire of sense gratification. Simply he should serve Krishna, service, nyasta karmana, all the fruit of activity should be surrendered at lotus feet of Krishna, and bhakti for the sake of bhakti only. So here, in brief, in this, there are 5 different characteristics of a pure devotee is described. Dhira, Nisanga, Nyasta Karmala, Prasanta and Shuddha Chetasa. So process how we can purify our intelligence, our consciousness, and how we can relish the everlasting transcendental peace. This is described in this verse. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any question?
Thank you, Maharaj. So this morning we're hearing about the pure devotee, and in the verses leading up to this we were hearing about, the chapter started off with us hearing about the Grihamedi and how they were wanting to fulfill material desires, and they're worshipping the demigods for that purpose. And then, as we kept going, it mentions how in the Bhagavad Gita that's condemned, kamais tarvita jnana. And in the purport to that verse that Prabhupada quoted in, Bhagavad Gita 7:20, he actually says, referring to the devotee, he says, but a pure devotee knows that the Supreme Lord Krishna is the master of all. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said, Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasa Bricha. Only the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the master and all others are servants. Therefore, a pure devotee never goes to the demigods for satisfaction of his material needs. He depends on the Supreme Lord, and the pure devotee is satisfied with whatever he gives. And this is following earlier in that purport, Prabhupada quotes that verse, Kama Sarva Kamava. Okay, now, so it sounds like, okay, if you got a material desire, it's not good, but you worship Krishna. And don't worship the demigods, worship Krishna and be satisfied with whatever he gives. But then a couple purports later, Prabhupada says in the 722, he says, for the living entity who desires to return to Godhead, material desires are an impediment. A pure devotee of the Lord is therefore not awarded the material benefits desired by less intelligent living entities. So it sounds like you don't get it. In the previous purport is being advised that if you have a material desire, okay, that's not good, but don't worship the demigods, worship Krishna. And then this purport is saying, but if you do worship Krishna for the material benefits, he's not going to give them to you. You follow what I'm saying?
That's it. Little difficult for previous first talks about Grihamedi. They are attracted, they have a faith in demigods and ancestor forefathers, and very nicely they worship Jagya, charity, nice thing. And their destination, they can elevate themselves of the heavenly planet, and they can enjoy the heavenly delight for long duration of time. But eventually, towards the end, tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam. Vishal, vast opportunity of sense gratification is there. Heavenly. Tetam bhuktva swargalok vishalam kshede punya. Once their merit of punya, piety, is exhausted, chinde martalokam. Of course, heavenly planet is also martalok. But this earthly planet, really, any moment, any person can die. This is actual, the topmost martalok is earth. They come here, and when they come here, again, they have to start. Again, they work for piety, shubha karma, and then come. So gata gatam, Krishna says gata gatam, going up and down. So this is not very much into it. So you are talking about Prabhupada says, pure devotee. Our devotee say, devotee they don't, since they don't have any material desire, so they don't work for any material thing. Why should you have no desire? Why I should work for that? But I could not understand what exactly, precisely, what is the point you was mentioning.
So 720 in the purport is saying that, let me read it again real quick. It says here, therefore a pure devotee never goes to the demigods for satisfaction of his material needs. He depends on the Supreme Lord, and the pure devotee is satisfied with whatever he gives. So he's expecting to get something, kama sarvaka. Pure devotee, who's, I don't know how Prabhupada's defining a pure devotee in this context, but it seems like there's devotees, they're turning their back on the whole karma kanda thing, but they're not free from material desires, so they're recommended worship the Supreme Lord and be satisfied with whatever he gives. But then here in this, a couple purports later,
Bhagavad Gita कामस्तस्त हृत ज्ञान प्रपद्यन्ते अन्य देव. Kam, material desire, kamastasta, material desire has stolen their intelligence, spoiled their intelligence. They have lost their intelligence. For that reason, because agyan, desire has stolen intelligence, no more brain substance inside, stolen by material desire. Kamastasta hrita. Literally means hrita means चुरा लिया. कामना ने उनके बुद्धि को, इंटेलिजेंस को चुरा लिया. Material desire has stolen their mind, intelligence. And that is, once the intelligence is stolen, they go to worship the demigod. Kamastasta hrita jnana prapadyante anya devata. Those Srimad Bhagavatam, all Vedic literature very frankly describe. यथा तरोर मूल निषेचनेन तृप्यन्ति तत्स्कंध भुजोपशाखा प्राणोपहार शथेन्द्रियाणाम तथैव सर्वाहरणम अच्युतेज्य. यथा तरोर मूल निषेचनेन, if you put water in the root of the tree, whole tree, trunk, branch, sub branch, fruit, leaf, flower, fruit, everything would be automatically, it will be nourished. Simply you need to put water in the root. Yatha taror mool nishechanena tripyanti tat skandhabhuj. Even you are interested to worship demigod, suppose you compare that the leaf is like demigod and whole tree is God. So if someone is really interested, or he have some, when he want to derive some material benefits, still he is advised to why not to pour water on the root, worship Krishna. Once Krishna is worshipped, Krishna is inclusive of all demigod, everything. So everything will, even demigod will be completely satisfied. When a devotee, any person worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, usually all the demigods simultaneously, they also become satisfied. Sometimes, some incident, in order to test the sincerity of the person, they inflict some misery. But demigods, they create some disturbance simply to test their sincerity, how serious that person is. But since they are demigod, they are devotee of Krishna, like say Indra, when time was, when demigod Brahmaji and all they went to Kshirosagar, there some disturbance was the earthly planet. The Brahma took all the demigod. Indra personally was there in the Kshirosagar, on the bank of the ocean, requesting, my dear Lord, please appear. So from Los Angeles nobody went there. यहाँ से कोई नहीं गया था ना. A group of demigod, they went to Kshirosagar to request, Lord, please come here. Indra was there. So in their demigods, they are devotee, no doubt. Only thing that they have some inclination for sense gratification. Both things. They are interested in sense gratification, but same time they also, Indra, Chandra, they all the devotees. So if any person worship Krishna, start devotional service, from within they are very much satisfied. But sometimes in order to test the sincerity, seriousness of that person, they inflict some misery. They do some disturbance in order to test, in order to judge whether you are seriously them. And some point, very rare chances is that because they are also devotee and they think that that person, he worship Krishna, he will become better than me. superior than me. So subtle type of enviousness, envy, they become envious. Because they appreciate the greatness of devotional service. My level is this one, that person is saying he will become that. For that reason, as long as you are working for the same level, they are not so much disturbing. But when they figure out that he will be superior, better than me, then many rare cases, some envy is there. Otherwise, in general, they are devotees. Why they should be create disturbance for other devotees? If I am devotee, I am extreme devotional, engaged in devotion. Why, if someone is engaged in devotion, why I should create disturbance? But sometimes I am duty bound to test sincerity of that person. So sometimes disturbance was history, many history we know that Indra created some disturbance, this created some disturbance. Oh, so I think we should stop here. So, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की।